I think as urban planners, we've been doing all over Europe, many cities have been doing urban redevelopment along canals, ports, and so on. Typical waterfront development. In most cases, we think we've created the mixed city, a vibrant neighborhood with everything, genuine urbanity. But then, if we would look closer, we have to admit that in each of these cases, the mixed city is not complete, because one function every time is pushed out of the city, is not included in this kind of vibrant neighborhoods, and that is productive economy. That means industrial activities, large ones and small ones, and they are being pushed out to the outskirts of the city, outskirts of our cities, the periphery, or even pushed out for production in China, Eastern Europe, and so on. So we think in Brussels that we shouldn't do that, that it is a more inclusive, a more mixed city, a really mixed city, if we can keep some of these light industrial activities within the city itself. Of course, not the heavy ones. Of course, not large-scale car production or dirty port activities. But the small-scale ones, like even the carpenter's workshop or the depot for the plumber, there is no space for these kind of jobs anymore within the city fabric itself, and that's a problem. It's a problem on the social level, because I think in cities we need these kind of jobs. We will always need a plumber, so we have to provide space for the plumber in the city itself. It's also important on the level of employment for low qualified people, because you can't just be a service economy. I think it is more wise to diversify economy and to have several kinds of economies in the city. If one goes bad, then the other one can help. It's not so wise to have only one bet. And so, for instance, in Brussels, where you have a lot of service economy, a lot of offices, we are used of having some jobs for low qualified diploma people, but mostly in the maintenance sector or the security sector, all of them linked to this kind of offices and the European institutions and so on. So I think it's wiser to have a more diverse palette of economical activities within the city itself. It's more resilient, and therefore it's more sustainable. It's also important on the level of sustainability at the long term. I really believe that in the future there will be a next economy, and that other kind of productions will be possible within the city. They will be possible because they are becoming more and more green, ecologically more easy to integrate in the city. They are more fair. There's more emphasis on producing local, producing in right circumstances, producing on low scale of numbers of production. And so this tendency, well, it could produce a kind of economy that really can be urban, that really can be integrated in the city. And then it would be really a pity if in 10 years, when the next economy is there, that we regret that we didn't preserve some place for these kind of activities. So as urban planners today, we have to maintain, to preserve space for city-oriented economy within the city itself, in order to have at that moment space available for new kinds of economy that are really easy to integrate within the city. That's what we are doing in the Plan Canal. In Brussels you have the canal area, which is crossing the Brussels capital region, with a lot of wastelands and empty buildings and so on. Not so much redevelopment has taken place yet. That's quite an exception in Europe, because in all city centers you see that there is a lot of real estate boost for those kind of areas. Not in the case of Brussels, among others because Brussels is so, on the institutional level, so complex that everything takes a long time. And so for once, I consider this as an advantage and also as a disadvantage, because it means we can learn from how other cities have been doing it, and we can do it better. And so exactly on this point of keeping some space, trying to keep industrial economy within the city, that's what we want to do better. And so in the entire area of the canal, we are, for instance, organizing a lot of architectural competitions on combining those two functions. So building new dwellings, but combining them with some light industrial economies, ateliers, workshops, and so on. So as architects, we've forgotten in a way also how to do it. In the 19th century, there was a kind of savoir-faire and know-how, or how can you integrate housing and industry. Not always in very good environmental conditions, but now we know how to do this. And so it's necessary that we as architects start reinventing typologies that combine both activities in a correct way.